This video is made to be watched either with or without sound. There is a lot of detailed information in the scriptures about the final 4 kings of Judah that reigned after Josiah and until the exile. 3 of them are Josiah's sons, and 1 is his grandson. For each of the 4, we are told their age when they became king and how long they reigned. We also know that they reigned consecutively, and we know the order in which they reigned. All of this allows us to piece together the timeline. There are 3 different Zedekiahs in Josiah's family, and 1 became King Zedekiah. This has confused many scholars and writers of Bible commentaries. This has also confused many who rely on commentaries to help them understand the Bible better. This is unfortunate because the Bible makes clear what commentaries do not. The Zedekiah who would become king was not born Zedekiah. His name was Mattaniah, but the king of Babylon changed his name to Zedekiah when making him king. Zedekiah was 21 years old when he became king, which was 11.5 years after his father Josiah died. His father Josiah became king at 8 years old and reigned 31 years. Using these numbers, we can place King Zedekiah on the timeline with the rest of Josiah's sons and grandsons. King Zedekiah also had the same mother as his brother Jehoahaz, who reigned first after their father Josiah's death. This might be confusing until we put everyone on the timeline. There is enough detail to put them in definite chronological order and to know Josiah's approximate age and/or the year of his reign. The following is an example of one way to organize a timeline so that it can be added to and rearranged easily. The timeline will continue to be a work in progress as you add to it. So as we start filling in the timeline, Josiah was 8 years old when he became king, and he reigned 31 years. In the 8th year of his reign, he began to seek God, so we put that in first. Then we see what he did in his 12th year, and we put that in next. Next we have the 18th year of his reign, and since we know he was 8 years old when he became king, we know he was 26 years old at this point. Then we put the events from his 18th year on our timeline. Later, in the 4th year of Jehoiakim, we'll be given a number that connects back to our next entry, the 13th year of Josiah, when the word of the Lord first came to Jeremiah. We'll place the 13th year of Josiah between his 12th and 18th year on the timeline. Then after reigning 31 years, Josiah was killed, and his son Jehoahaz became king in his place and reigned for only 3 months. So we place him on the timeline chronologically, and note some of the details from his short reign. After him, Josiah's other son, Jehoiakim, took the throne, and we place him on the timeline chronologically, noting his age when he became king. Using this number, we can subtract it from his father's age when he died to know the year Jehoiakim was born. We see that it was the 6th year of Josiah, so we make an entry on our timeline for that year. Likewise, we can look at Jehoahaz's age when he became king and know the year of his birth as well. He was 2 years younger than his brother Jehoiakim, so we add his birth to the 8th year of Josiah on our timeline. Then after Jehoiakim reigned 11 years, his son Jehoiachin took the throne. He was 18 years old when he became king. Using simple arithmetic, we can see that he was born to Jehoiakim in the 24th year of Josiah. After only 3 months, Jehoiachin surrendered, and Nebuchadnezzar installed Zedekiah as king at the age of 21. Nebuchadnezzar gave him the name Zedekiah, but he was born with the name Mattaniah. Again, using simple arithmetic, we can see that King Zedekiah was born to Josiah in the 21st year of Josiah. This will help us differentiate from the other 2 men named Zedekiah in Josiah's family. As we find more information about this man, we can add it to his entry on our timeline. Next, we notice that Jehoahaz is also called by the name Shalom. And we add this note to his entries on our timeline. Then we notice that he was born 4th, so we add this information to his entry as well. Then we notice that Jehoiakim was born 2nd, so we add this information to Jehoiakim's entry on the timeline for more clarity. Next, we see that Josiah's firstborn son was a man named Johanan, so we place him on the timeline before Jehoiakim and estimate his birth year to be the 5th year of Josiah, since Josiah couldn't have been much younger and still fathered a child. Then we see that Josiah's third-born son was named Zedekiah. So we make an entry on our timeline between the second-born and the fourth-born. Viewing the information we've already put on our timeline, we can see that this man named Zedekiah is in fact not King Zedekiah. Next, we notice that Jehoiakim's son Jehoiachin is also referred to by the name Jeconiah. So we note this on his timeline entries. Then we notice that Jehoiakim had another son, and his name was Zedekiah. We place him on the timeline after the birth of Jeconiah and assign him the speculative birth year of the 25th year of Josiah. We can see that this Zedekiah is also not King Zedekiah. So now we can take the information that we've gathered and sorted and place it into a table for easier reference. In the 5th year of Josiah, Johanan was born first. In the 6th year of Josiah, Jehoiakim was born second, and he was the second king to reign after Josiah's death. Estimated as the 7th year of Josiah, Zedekiah was born third, and he did not become king. In the 8th year of Josiah, Jehoahaz was born fourth, and he was the first king to reign after his father Josiah's death. Next, we transfer the information from the 12th and 13th years of Josiah. Likewise with the 18th year of Josiah, and then the 21st year of Josiah, where we have the birth of Mattaniah, who would be renamed Zedekiah when he was being installed as the last king of Judah. Then in the 24th year of Josiah, we have the birth of Jehoiachin, who would be the third of these 4 kings to reign. Lastly, we estimate the 25th year of Josiah as when another man named Zedekiah was born, who would not become king. Josiah's family is the last dynasty of kings to reign before Jerusalem was destroyed by Babylon. Chronicles and 2 Kings are very specific with times, people, and locations concerning these kings. Events in other books of the Bible also contain these details and can be placed together with them on our timeline. Jeremiah was a prophet from the 13th year of Josiah through the end of the reign of Zedekiah. Jeremiah chapters 1 through 20 are from the days of Josiah. Chapters 21 through 52 occur after Josiah and are not in chronological order, but they can be sorted and put into context on the timeline. Events in Ezekiel will coincide with events in Jeremiah and other scripture. Carefully observing the people, places, and time indicated in all scripture will show how all the pieces fit together. Things once thought unknowable will be understood with certainty. Where do Esther and Mordecai fit in history? What events, if any, coincide with them? Why are we told when Darius is 62 years old? It's not that the Bible is unclear, but that it must be understood in its completeness before any conclusions are drawn. This is true for understanding historical narratives, as well as doctrine, salvation, etc. The next video picks up in the 26th year of Josiah, when Nebuchadnezzar marries the daughter of the king of the Medes in an alliance. Then in the 28th year of Josiah, Assyria falls when the capital city Nineveh is destroyed.